welcome to another Cook with Kath video with me, the Queen of the Kitchen, and today we are gonna make Yorkshire puddings. Okay, so to make perfect Yorkshire puddings, what you're gonna need is an egg, some milk, a little bit of water, but I'll get that out of the fridge then, and plain flour, not self-raising, salt, and an electric whisk. I prefer electric whisk because there's a lot of whisking involved to get some air into the mixture. So if you're using a hand whisk, that would be quite hard. And then I am using a bowl with a lip because it'll be easier to pour the mixture later instead of using a ladle. But if you don't have one of those, you can just use a glass bowl and use a ladle. It's fine. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is crack and whisk the egg. Just one, that's all we need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk the egg up by itself, just the egg, nothing else, and I'm going to whisk it until it's nice and foamy, so get a lot of air into the egg. So I'm going to do that now. Can you see what I've done with the egg? So it's really formed up now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add double the amount of liquid with milk and a drop of water. So I'm going to double the amount of liquid with milk and a little bit of water as well. So no measuring needed, because if you go over too much milk or too little milk, it doesn't make any difference. The consistency of the mixture after you've added flour is what's important. So I'm going to add a little bit of milk now, so I'm just going to really just estimate. Wait a minute. Just have a quick sniff. It's fine. You wouldn't want to be baking with rotten milk. Okay, that's probably enough. So you see I've just about doubled, and I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that as well. Okay, so now we have our mixture, and I'm just going to whisk it up again before I start adding flour, but I'm going to add a little bit of salt to that. Now salt for Yorkshire puddings is really important, adds flavour. There is a lot of air in that there. I have maybe put a little bit too much liquid in actually, but I think it should be fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some plain flour. I'm just going to add it little bit by little bit. I'm going to keep the whisk on a low whisk and to get it in, and then I will stop when it's at the right consistency, and I'll show you the right consistency when we do it. What you want is when you drop it off a spoon, you want a dropping consistency. So not too thin, not too thick. That is still a little bit thin. I'm going to add a little bit more. See, I'm just adding a little bit at a time. So I don't add too much. When you've been doing this a long time, you'll start to recognise the consistency. Nope, I still need a little bit more. Have it too thick, they won't rise. I think that's perfect. So can you see where it drops off the spoon? It's still quite liquid, but it kind of does a little bit of a plop into the mixture. But it's still quite thin, see? So it's more like the consistency of cream. Okay? Okay, so now all I need to do is whisk this up for 2 minutes and just keep whisking for 2 minutes. So you don't need to be part of that. You can come back when I'm done. So 2 minutes. So 2 minutes on a high whisk. Okay, it has been 2 minutes. So that has now been whipped up and it now needs to rest. So you can just put it to one side and just leave it alone for a good half an hour or however long it takes you to finish off the rest of the dinner. So you don't have to worry about it until you need to put it in the oven. So come back when we're ready to do that. Okay, so when you do the Yorkshire puddings, you really need a hot oil to put them into. So you need something like a vegetable oil or a sunflower oil. I'm using a grapeseed oil because it's slightly more better for the environment, and it's you heat that up until it's smoking before you put the mixture in. So you can see the molds that I've got are just normal like cake tin molds. I've oiled up 12, just a little bit of oil in each, and now I've put it in the oven. I've put it on 210 degrees. And if you notice, I've put it on the bottom shelf with nothing above it, so there's plenty of space in the oven, and you need that when you put your Yorkshires in, so it gives them room to rise. Okay, so you can see it's smoking hot. So I'm going to take it out and pour the mixture in. So this is where, like I said, it was really useful to have a lip, because then I don't need a ladle, I can just do this. You can see it's bubbling, it's that hot. Maybe half fill them. Probably go back and put some more in that other one. If you fill them too high, they won't rise. So you about halfway is about right. And you've got to be quick because not notice the dry has cooled down already. We're not bubbling anymore. Oh, that one is. Okay, we'll try that one. Maybe still some ones that need a bit more. And then quickly get these into the oven. And then just leave them and hope that they rise. Because homemade Yorkshire puddings are a little bit fickle. They don't always rise. Let's hope these ones do. When they're nicely browned, they'll take about 10 minutes, depending on your oven, maybe 15. Nicely browned and coming away from the edges. That's when you can take them out of the oven. Okay. Right. And now we can take them out of the thing. And I'm just going to put them in a bowl, ready to serve. So this is the finished product. We have some delicious Yorkshire puddings on our plate here. I'll just taste one. Delicious. Beautiful. Really tasty.